Hey y'all, so our trip here to North Carolina is coming to an end, and the entire time I've been here, these organization bins have made my life so much easier for storing my medical supplies. And so I wanted to make a video to share this awesome chronic illness life hack with y'all. Even though I'm on vacation, my chronic illnesses are not. I don't get a break from those, and that means I have symptoms to manage, treatments to keep up with, and that, although it can be annoying and tiresome, I am thankful for the treatments available to me because those are the things that keep me going. So anyways, all of that obviously entails a, abundance of medical supplies and equipment, and it can be a little overwhelming to think about how to keep all of that organized when transporting it from like Florida to here, North Carolina, how I'm going to store everything. And these bins have been totally ideal for what I need, like exactly what I need to keep all of my medical supplies in one place and organized, and it's taken a lot of stress away from me on this trip. So I definitely want to share these with y'all because maybe it can help someone in a similar situation. So every single one of these I got from Target, and y'all know I love my Target runs. So I have 4 here. I have this bigger one, a smaller green one, and then these 2 blue ones. And I'll go through them one by one. So this small green one here is dedicated to my feeding tube supplies. All of the shelving units undo with these little clips. The top one has a handle, which is really convenient. And the top shelf has this organization unit divided into 6 spaces. And so I use one space to hold tubey pads, another space to hold tubey pads. This is the little syringe I use to check the balloon on my feeding tube button. I've got paper tape here, and then I have a little bottle of distilled water, which is what I use to fill my balloon on my feeding tube, and I check that once a week. So having the syringe and the distilled water was important. And just put the lid back on. In the next shelf, I've got split gauze for cleaning my tube and whatnot. I've got my flushes, and I've got my grip lock, and I was able to fit a lot of that in here. And then in the next shelf, I've got some tape. I've got this cream I like to use if my stoma gets irritated, and then this is a spray I use to clean my stoma every day. So I'll spray my stoma and then I'll wipe it clean with the gauze and make sure it's dry, and then I'll use a tubey pad. And then I put extra saline flushes because I swear there's like a saline flush fairy somewhere that just takes all my saline flushes. It's me. I use these a lot. So I had extra room in this one, so I just put more saline flushes. And then I'll stack it up. Okay, hold on. For them to close, you gotta make sure, there we go, that they're fitting in. Ta-da! So this green one I dedicated to like mostly my feeding tube supplies. Okay, this big bin here has a lot of miscellaneous stuff. On the top, I've got my 2 ambulatory pumps. One is for my infusions I run throughout the week, like my fluids, my banana bags. One is for IVIG. And then I've got my feeding tube pump. I've got batteries for my infusion pumps, more batteries. And like I said, to make sure it closes, you have to make sure everything fits. There we go. Oh, and then in the bottom, I brought more with me elsewhere, but I have like extra feed bags for my feeding tube and formula. And then in the blue one, this is mostly IV therapy supplies. So in the top shelf here, it's divided into 6 spaces. I've got swab caps, enclaves, bio patches, lots of alcohol swabs, skin prep, extension tubing. I love how organized it stays. In the second shelf, it's the same thing, divided and organized, and I have IV medications. So I've got Zofran 1, Benadryl for my IVIG infusion. I've got my Solumedrol, my pre-med of a steroid. I've got IV Toradol, which also goes with my IVIG. And that was very convenient to be able to divide them up like that. And then in here, I was able to fit 2 port needles, 2 dressing change kits for my port needle changes, and then this bottom one had the same exact thing. I say had because I used a set because I already did a port needle change while I was here on my trip. And it went very well. In here, just got lots of saline flushes, more saline, heparin, and then needles for drawing up IV meds and things like that. So what's really neat about these is you can kind of mix and match them to fit your needs. For example, I bought 2 blue sets, and the 6-part organizer actually came in the top of each one, but just for my intents and purposes, I wanted the 6-part organizer to be here and here, and I just wanted this to not have the 6-part organizer, so I just took it out of this one and moved it here. Also, if I wanted to, okay, I'm trying to move this inside, there we go, add shelving to this one, I totally could. I could just stack this on top, clip it, and now they're all added together. So if I needed more storage, I could buy another compartment and add as many shelves as I wanted to each of these. Even this big one, you can add more shelving if you buy the same size at Target. So I think these organization bins have been totally invaluable to me because, you know, when I'm home, I'm in my zone, everything has its place, I'm organized, and it's much easier to take care of myself when you can stay organized. So having this on my trip has been awesome and incredibly convenient. So that's why I wanted to share it, to hopefully help somebody who finds himself in a similar situation while traveling with feeding tube supplies, IV therapy, medications, whatever it may be. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. This is ridiculously tall now, so I'm gonna put it back to how it was. There we go. So again, all of these bins came from Target, and I think they're a very reasonable price. They're so ideal for what I need when traveling with my medical supplies. They did really well in the car on the road trip. They're good for weekend getaways. They're good for longer trips, like right now I'm away from home for 2 weeks. And if this seems like a lot of supplies, that's because I tend to overpack my medical equipment rather than underpack when I go on a trip, because it's better to have too much supplies rather than run out. And although the majority of my equipment is stored in these bins, it doesn't house everything. Like, for example, my infusion bags are stored somewhere else. I have some other equipment that's in my luggage, but the majority of my equipment is here. And of all the years I've been doing these types of treatments, this has been the most ideal solution I found for organization while traveling. Also, I quickly want to mention that no, it is not ideal that I have to do these treatments. I would rather be able to live my life without needing this, but since I do require this, I'm not going to focus on the negative. I'm instead going to be grateful for these interventions that are available to me and that help me live my best possible life, that help me stay out of the hospital as much as possible. You know, these are the things that keep me going, and for that I am thankful. And so anyways, I just wanted to share my organization hacks for medical supplies for people who are in similar situations with feeding tubes, central lines, whatever it may be. Hopefully someone has found this video helpful, and with that I'll just say thanks for joining us on this organization adventure.